Hey Aries, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Taurus full moon reading. Let's dive in. Let's get your messages from Spirit for this Taurus full moon. Spirit, what does Aries need to know? This Taurus full moon. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Aries. First up, your message from the universe. What you need to hear from the universe. Aries, look at that. The Fool. So definitely you're opening up to new cycles. You're being encouraged to just leave the past in the past, leave it behind. Now, if you do have Aquarius energy anywhere in your chart, as I always say, I encourage you to look at your that aspect. But otherwise, I get the sense that with this Fool cards, not only is it new beginnings, new cycles, but I'm getting like this blank slate, clearing the slate and opening up to new energies altogether. Okay, that's going to be brighter, lighter. You're encouraged to lean into playfulness, to fun, and that childlike sense of wonder and abandon. So, what will this full moon be bringing into your awareness? Two of Swords. Okay, any areas that you might be ignoring, just making a decision, or I feel like I'm even getting like, if you're feeling stuck in any which way, and this may call for you to not be afraid to remove the blindfolds, to seek out or call in new information to help cut through any areas where you may be experiencing a struggle, where you may be feeling a little bit stuck or blocked mentally. Okay, especially if you are avoiding, if there's been any areas of avoidance, that's where this energy of, even the Fool is saying it's okay, like it's all good, don't be afraid to see what's there so that you can make a well-informed decision, choice, and choose a direction, that sort of a thing. So what are you being called to revisit, or what should you revisit this full moon? Look at this, two and two choices and decisions going to be a little bit more at the forefront for you this full moon. The Two of Wands, short-term planning. You've got the world in the palm of your hand, and we see the Two of Wands. And so it's about really getting excited about what's ahead, not fixating so much on end results, but being a bit more present to the moment, present to the here and now, because it's what you do in the here and now that's going to help to guide you, right? If you I'm hearing the word spontaneity as well as excitement, focusing on what is motivating and inspiring you into action. Those short-term steps, again, the short-term plans, that are going to get things moving, to build a momentum in terms of whatever your long-term goals are. Okay, so let's get you some advice for this full moon. Look at that, the Four of Wands. We got some bright energies here. With this Four of Wands energy, it encourages connection, I feel, because the Four of Wands is all about the possibility of a new partnership, new foundations. I feel that this Four of Wands is also, your vision is starting to really come together here. I feel like there's excitement, again, this energy of excitement about the future and future possibilities. This could be also your creative vision lining up and becoming a lot more clear. Okay, but yes, partnerships, working together with someone, and or if you are looking to have, I almost want to say, some of you could be looking at a significant move or a shift, or entering into, it could be, if it's not related to actual movement in terms of like a partnership, a relationship that's starting up, this could deal with a business endeavor, with your work, because it's your creative energy here. So your creative energy could start to see some, like, finally the pieces are starting to gel and we are getting some serious movement happening here. Okay, so what sort of downtime, what sort of vacation is your soul craving? Daughter of Swords, information. Okay. Sometimes when I see the Daughter of Swords, I get this feeling of being overstimulated. Maybe there's information overload, overwhelm. So there could be this calling to just take a breath, take a breather, and realize you don't need to have everything figured out. Right now, we're at the opening stages of something. Okay. And so this is about learning. Okay. With the Page of Swords, there you're being guided to just be open to learning, be open to new information, be open to receiving downloads, be open to receiving feedback, guidance, even if it's critiquing from what I'm getting. So there's definitely a feeling of new energy that you're opening up to, a new cycle. Aries. Okay, so that being said, I do encourage you to check out your moon and rising signs for some deeper insights. Maybe even, I always say this, throwing in your Venus, your North Node, if that vibes with you. But otherwise, just know that we are here for you, girlandhermoon.com. When you're ready to schedule your, personal session. We've got live 45-minute readings, or of course the pre-recorded readings for you. But otherwise, Aries, I wish you a blessed and bright Taurus full moon. Be open to the new. I feel like you are. I feel like you're ready. This is just validating that you're on that right track. Okay, so don't get too overwhelmed, but do seek out information, especially if you're feeling a little bit stuck or on pause. Okay, so take care. Have a blessed full moon. Hey Taurus, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Taurus, full moon reading. So this is your full moon, Taurus. Let's see what messages, what insight, spirit, universe, your guides have for you. So what do we have for Taurus? This Taurus full moon, spirit. Wow. So definitely there's, you know, Six of Swords. I'm not going to look at the other cards here, but that Six of Swords, there's movement that's happening. There's a transition. There is relief after conflict. Having those cards pop out is giving me this feeling of like a readiness to just move forward and onward, or this readiness, some kind of an energy that's pushing you into the next phases of something. Right away, I'm just getting that message before we even get to your actual spread. So, Spirit, all right, first up, what does Taurus need to hear from the universe? Your message from the universe. We've got the Strength card. Okay, so there may be some aspects that are calling for you to resist the temptation to be reactive. There could be a form of overwhelm or struggle, but you've got what it takes to power through, is the message that I'm getting for you, Taurus. Okay, so it's about powering through. It's about not being reactive to situations around you. It's about really locking into, because the Strength card is that Leo energy. So there's integrity that's there. There's trusting in your higher power and allowing for spirit to guide you. Especially if you are feeling some form of a struggle, or again that word frustration that's coming up, you are guided by spirit, okay, more than anything. So what is being called to your awareness? Okay, the Hermit energy. So we've got Leo energy, Virgo energy. Just as a note, if you have any of those signs in your chart, look up that reading, check out that reading for that sign, okay? But with this Hermit energy, what's being brought into your awareness? There may be a form of retreat, of going inward, soul searching, removing yourself from external influences, just too much. How should I put this? Outside opinion, that sort of thing. When we've got this Strength card and the Hermit card, I get these feelings. It's like a withdrawal type of energy. It's sort of like sticking to your guns as well. You have life lived wisdom and experiences that you are being called to lean into at this time. And so if there's something that you're looking at and you might be worrying or concerned or fixated whatsoever, this Hermit energy is saying, listen, been there, done that. Maybe you've even wrote the book. Maybe you're getting ready to write the book. But the point is, you've been through, oh, hey, what is it? I've been through my share, my rodeo. I've been through this rodeo before, something like that. You've been around the block more than a couple of times. You know how this is going to go. So that's where there are lessons, not only to be learned, but to be reflected. Like, you've learned the lesson. So just remember, go back to that. It's like, oh yeah, I've been through that before. I can do this again. All right. I know what to do this time. So what are you being called to revisit? Yep, Four of Cups. The answer is right in front of you. It's right under your nose. It might just be that it's like the acceptance of it, right? The acceptance of it. We search and search, but it's like going to the refrigerator. You know exactly what's in it, but you keep going back and opening the refrigerator. It's like, if you're hungry, just eat something, right? You already know what's in there, so there's no sense like opening and closing the refrigerator. It's like the decision, the answer, whatever it is that you're looking for, you have your hands on it. So don't feel like your options, the options that you have may not be that exciting. They may not be these bright flashing neon signs, but it's right there. So this too shall pass is part of what I'm also hearing. Okay. All right, advice for a smooth full moon. Father of Pentacles. Yeah, stand in your power. Showing up and showing out is what counts. Putting on that air of professionalism. I get that this is also, if you feel like you're lacking in any way, this Father of Pentacles is here to remind you that you're not, that you've got the skills to lead. And even if it's just self-leading, okay, even if it's just like you are self-employed, that kind of thing or whatnot, stand in your power, okay, and present yourself to the best of your abilities as well. When I see this Father of Pentacles, it's about being responsible. And also, I'm even getting there may be, you may want other options or choices than what you have available to you, but again, you just have to get through this current phase, this current moment, and it's going to pass. Other things will open up for you, okay, Taurus? So let's see what kind of vacation your soul is craving. 10 of Swords less. You would like to have an end. You like to put an end to the, what is it? Stop the insanity. I don't remember. Stop the insanity. Okay. So those cycles of overthinking, those cycles of worrying, those cycles of wondering and spinning your wheels, that's what we're closing out. So you're being called to just breathe and allow, focus on what's right in front of you. Start from the ground up. Father of Pentacles, what you can see, hold, and touch, being very practical with how you approach things, okay? Rather than getting into the dark, spirally thought space, the anxiousness, and, all of the nervousness. So your nervous system may be overwhelmed or just shot, all right? So that's where we're taking action to support the physical, okay, to align with the physical and the practical of what can I do here and now? What are the steps I can take right in front of me here and now to head in the direction of what I desire? All right, Taurus. So, all that being said, I encourage you to check out your moon, your rising, your Venus, your north nodes. Perhaps if you're interested in Venus north node, but otherwise, we are here for you. You know what to do, where to go, girlandhermoon.com to schedule your 45-minute live reading or a pre-recorded. Have a blessed and bright Taurus full moon. Taurus, till next time. Hey Gemini, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Taurus full moon reading. So Gemini, let's dive in. Let's see what messages, what insights, what guidance is coming through for you this Taurus full moon. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Gemini. Okay. So, Gemini, what do you need to hear from the universe? Your message from the universe? Temperance. Okay, so continue to focus and put your effort into what it is that you are working toward. Okay, whatever it is that you're doing right now, it's going to take focus. Keep your eye on the prize. Don't take your eye off the ball. That sort of thing. There's balance that this energy calls for. There's integration that this energy is calling for. There's also an energy of healing in some way when we see the Temperance card. This Temperance card, I am mindful of this whole concept, like I said, with alchemy and integration. And so this is not just about plowing through and getting something done, but we're wanting to be aware of when we do something, the action that we're taking, what is the impact that it has? How does it make us feel? How does it influence the world around us? Again, it's not just about to put into different perspective, it's not just about quantity, but it's the quality of the experience. It's the quality of the work, the conversation, whatever the case may be. All right. So, what is being brought into your awareness this full moon? 10 of Pentacles, foundation, generational wealth, generational stability, and foundation for the future. So there may be a number of just day to day practical choices that you're having to make that are going to have that domino effect, the influence on your future stability, your future foundations and wealth and so forth, as we've already said. Okay, so this, the Taurus full moon, Taurus energy is all about that practicality. And so there's a balancing here. Okay, Gemini house and home could also be at the forefront, and doing things in such a way, like I said earlier, you don't want to just plow through something, but you want to be mindful of it's not just about fixating on the end result, but it's about the quality and the journey along the way, right? And what we're doing to get there, and then the ripple effect around all of that we want to kind of also be attentive to. But yeah, this is like day-to-day choices and decisions, and the fact that those, just basic day-to-day choices and decisions, they all add up in the end, right? So what are you being called to revisit this full moon? Yeah, the Son of Swords, the Knight of Swords. I'm hearing slow down. Okay, where's the fire? I know generally when we see the Knight of Swords, this is about being bold and brave in terms of applying an action, or in this case, because it is air, it's communications and thought and that sort of thing. So it does encourage you to go for it. And that being said, because it's like something that we're revisiting, it's like, where have you had maybe a bit of impatience in the past, and what were those results like? What happened the last time that you went in guns blazing to something, right? And you're like, ooh, it's not that I'm not happy with the result, but maybe I could have gone about doing that or saying that with a little bit more tact or a bit more refinement, something along those lines. So while you do want to lean into the bravery of the knight and the movement that the knight kind of encourages, or if there is a conversation to be had, having this, the, you know what I mean, the, like, it's again the wherewithal to speak and to say something. But again, it's not what you say, but how you say it, right? Okay, so let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. 7 of Cups. So let's simplify here, but let's open up to the possibilities as well. If and when you're feeling overwhelmed by the possibilities, that's where that energy of simplification comes to mind. Knowing that you can always change your mind later on if you decide, okay, like I tried this and that's great, but it's not the end, right? You can always, there's always going to be, there are options available to you, so don't feel pigeonholed, is part of what I'm getting. Now the other piece of advice with the 7 of Cups is, when I go back to simplifying, the shadow aspect of the 7 of Cups is that energy of illusion. It's an energy of intoxication. And so this is where, again, you're being called to just, again, forgive the repetition, but aside from simplification, step back and remember that when you're feeling overwhelmed, just take a breath, take a breather. I'm not telling you not to choose, but just remember, not choosing is still a choice. Okay. So what sort of vacation is your soul craving this full moon? 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, you want things to just kind of gel. You want there to be a balanced, harmonious, collaborative effort. You want to work together and work well with others. So it could just be that there, you might be feeling a little bit, again, in a rush, or I feel like nervousness about how things are going to work out in the long run. And so spirit is saying, just stay focused on the pieces that are available to you in the here and now, and continue to work with it. Be malleable, but also attentive to what it is that you're saying and doing at this time, especially when it comes to your interactions with others, and especially as that relates to, because we've got the physical, we've got pentacles, whether it is just your day-to-day choices and decisions with those around you, your own, the choices that you have for yourself, and how you're putting those pieces together. But otherwise, again, it's just the like just focus on being not just here now, but understanding that you are experiencing growth as well. Okay, Gemini. So I encourage you to check out your moon, your rising, maybe even your Venus, your North Node signs for some deeper insights. But otherwise, schedule a session with us to go deeper. We are here for you, girl and her moon.com, where we've got your 45-minute live readings as well as pre-recorded readings available. All right. So have a blessed Taurus full moon. Hello, hello, Cancer. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Taurus full moon reading. So, Cancer, let's see what insights we have for you this Taurus full moon. The Spirit, does Cancer need to know what is coming through for Cancer this Taurus full moon? Thank you. All right. First up, your message from the universe this Taurus full moon, Cancer. Ooh, the Hangman. All right, so there is something that is integrating on a spiritual level that you may be integrating. This is a call to pause. This is a call, excuse me, to step back and not only to see things from a different perspective, but be open to embracing this different perspective and have patience with yourself. There may be certain things that you aren't quite fully absorbing just yet. And that's where, again, this shift in perspective, having patience with yourself and allowing for the information, the downloads to come to you and through you. And perhaps if you feel like it's just been the same thing, again, this is that time to shift and maybe take a look at it from a different angle. Okay. I do get this feeling with the Hangman because this is Piscean energy. That this could be also a good time for self-care, to go inward. This could be a good time to also focus for whatever reason. I'm just feeling like this potential for a focus on health. And maybe that's part of like this pause and this shift. If you have been just going at it and just kind of doing like your day in, day out, day in, day out, this could be a call to change things up a little bit. Okay. And if anything, obviously, like slowing down and taking a moment to breathe and really gather yourself. So maybe it's also a calling to appreciate how far you've come in a way, or at least to, again, have a different perspective so that you can even acknowledge how far you've come. All right. So, what is this full moon bringing to your awareness? What will it bring into your awareness? The Ace of Cups. Yeah, there we go with the water. Okay. Fresh starts, new beginnings. Okay. Cleaning the slate, so to speak. I feel that this Ace of Cups is also an invitation, perhaps, to do a cleanse. We are in full moon energy, which is that cleansing and releasing. And so maybe even taking a nice, salt bath, just for that purification, clearing sort of, space to be in or to welcome in. Clean slate, new beginnings, especially as it calls to just that heart-centered, heart healing energy. Okay, opening up to the possibilities of new love, new relationship, new ways of relating with others, of even just on an emotional level. It doesn't have to be romantically based, but it can be, obviously. But I feel like it's opening you up to new cycles of receiving, giving, experiencing love and emotional connection. Okay. What are you potentially revisiting this full moon? The Sun of Cups. More with the what? Cancer. Look at you. So being in your flow with this Knight of Cups energy, leading with the heart, and don't be afraid to speak. What's going on inside. Okay, and to at least connect, to go there. It doesn't necessarily even have to be external communication, although that could be part of it, but it's also about us being honest with ourselves, right? Listening to our own hearts to the point where we can take that aligned action accordingly. Like, what is our heart speaking to us at this time? Okay, and be open to romantic gestures, be open to healing, heart healing, and connecting relationships, communications as well. There could be some incoming messages that are, going to be more heart centered. Okay. So just be open to that, especially if you have been calling that in. All right. Let's get you some advice for this full moon. Four of Pentacles. So, when I said earlier with that hangman energy, if you've been kind of just in a cycle of just doing the same thing, the same routine, this is a time to take a look at those routines. What are the cornerstones of your day and your week? And this might be time to, again, change things up. If not, when I see the Four of Pentacles, I think about like getting a tune up on a car. And so, like this could be your spiritual tune up calling forth, in terms of, how are your day to day habits and patterns? What kind of impact is it having on your flow? What kind of impact, is it having on you emotionally, and in terms of what brings you a sense of fulfillment, not just, like checking off those points or the bullet points on your list of what needs to get done, right? This is about the actual flow, and it's almost like, things may feel a little bit dry, I'm getting, and so it's time to just sort of freshen it up, brighten it up, lighten it up with that air. I don't want to sound weird, but it's like the gears. I see the gears and the bands, and it just kind of dry. So you might need to like lubricate those joints or something. So there's actually someone, maybe for someone on a health level, right? Like as I said, with healing health, with that hangman energy, Piscean energy, um this could be a call to, again, check out your day-to-day habits and routines, and if does it bring you fulfillment? Where can you start to integrate a sense of joy there? Or, you know what I'm saying, open up to that sort of energy. And let's see what sort of downtime or vacation your soul's craving. Two of Cups, look at you. One of Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, the Son of Cups, this beautiful water and earth energy. So we're slowing down and we're being present to appreciating the moment. Okay. We have some, maybe like these new cycles of love, and again, of heart, of feeling, of connecting emotionally that we're looking to. And so I can see you get this Two of Cups. You're ready for those more intimate connections. All right. Those heart-based connections. So open yourself up to that. All right. See how your day to day, again, habits, patterns, and routines might be either blocking or influencing your ability to maybe open up and meet new people, more soul aligned connections, or a more soul aligned connection. All right. And even this all starts from within. So it's about how you experience fulfillment, what brings you joy, and that sense of, again, forgive the repetition, but fulfillment, just on a very practical, mundane level. And how can you integrate that and work with that, call that in, as you're moving through this full moon energy. All right. So Cancer, thanks so much for being here. I highly suggest that you check out your moon and rising signs, especially maybe your Venus and North Node if that speaks to you. But otherwise, we're here for you. So schedule a session with us, girlandhermoon.com, for a 45-minute live reading. You can ask whatever you want in that 45-minute period of time, or of course a pre-recorded. I wish you a very blessed and bright full moon, Cancer. Till next time. Hello, Leo. How are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Taurus full moon reading. So Leo, let's see what messages we have for you this Taurus full moon. Spirit, what's coming through for our Leos here? What's the message for Leo this Taurus full moon? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Leo. All right. First up, Leo, your message from the universe. What do you need to hear from the universe? Leo, Nine of Cups. wishes and fulfillment card here. So I'm hearing the words sitting pretty. Do you feel that way? I hope you do, Leo. And if you're not, this is that time to reflect on what, like what around you. Focus on the gratitude, focus on the flow, focus on the satisfaction that you have managed to already create for yourself. Okay, this is about like what independently you're only, excuse me, I'm a little bit jumbled in the what I'm trying to express here. um you are not responsible for anyone else's happiness but your own. And I think you feel me on this, Leo, when I say that. That it's not about being selfish. It's not about just blocking people out and like, oh, it's all about me. It's not about that message in that tone, but it is about understanding, right, that we can only do so much. And so at this point, don't worry. Okay, don't worry about what's going on with this, that, or the other person and the third. Worry about and focus on what brings you a sense of joy and fulfillment, because you have earned it. Not only have you earned it, Leo, but you are surrounded by it. You have co-created it. Focus on the simplicity, okay, of like just the fact that, again, happiness is not out of reach. It's actually well within reach, and it's surrounding you. And the best thing with the 9 of Cups, because we do care about others, right, Leo? We actually do. Um, is it's one step away from the 10 of Cups, which is that celebratory energy, which does involve others and engaging and sharing in the joy and the fulfillment, right? So let's continue this. What is being brought into your awareness this full moon? 2 of Wands. Yeah. So we're opening up to the more immediate vision of what's motivating and inspiring you into action. When we see the 2 of Wands, world's in the palm of your hand, what are you going to do with it? So there's a lot of this, encouragement to get excited about the moment, being present to the moment and experiencing that fulfillment in the moment. Because what is manifestation? This is a full moon, so we're talking about clearing and releasing energies for it, right? But this is the impact that the full moon's going to have on you. And so it is all about opening up the way to be able to focus on just the more immediate short-term steps, the short-term plans when it comes to the bigger picture, right? And so again, this is what's being brought into your awareness. And again, let's get fired up. Let's get inspired, because sometimes when we look, we open up to a new cycle, right? And we're looking way far down the line about the goal, it can become very daunting and like, ugh, like you just kind of want to shut down, right? And so that's where this 2 of Wands saying, no, it's just, we just got here, we just landed, right? Let's clarify. Let the vision is lining up. Let's get fired up about it. Let's we gotta have the energy. We gotta have, you know what I mean? We look at the end product and all the energy just goes out the window. And so now it's like, let's just keep, like, we're focusing on the energy, on the fuel, right, for the to bring the vision into reality, right? So what are you being called to revisit? 3 of Cups, there's that joy. It's the joy, right? We're opening up to the joy, we're opening up to the connection. 3 of Cups, that's celebratory energy. So I feel like where you have those connections, those people to lean on that can really speak your love language, or that heart based language, those soul, those 1 or 2 soul friends, soul family that when you're going through something, you're experiencing something, that those are your people. Those are who you can count on, who you can lean on. And I feel like this is also an invitation to be mindful of the types of ways that you're communicating, because the 3 of Cups can also be like that gossip card, right? So we want to have positive gossip. We want to have encouraging, healing, heart-based gossip if we're gonna gossip, right? And so it's really about avoiding any sorts of toxic communications and opening up. Want to nip that in the bud, and we want to open up to that more encouraging and, again, celebratory, healing, and uplifting stuff. All right, let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. Daughter of Wands. Yeah, let's be playful here. With the Daughter of Wands energy, stop and smell the roses. Be open to the new cycles, the new way of seeing things, of doing things. Again, what is motivating and inspiring you into action? Maybe there can be some new ways to approach the same old stuff, right? New ways to do it, new ways to sort of see it, and a new vision, perhaps, even. Okay, be open even with the messages. There may be some incoming messages, signs and synchronicities that you want to pay attention to. Be open to being exploratory and adventurous in the way that you go about doing things. Okay, so having fun is really a theme that we're starting to see here, very nicely opening up and guiding you forth right now, Leo. Okay, so I love this for you. Bright and beautiful. All right, so what sort of downtime or vacation is your soul craving? And then we've got Seven of Pentacles. We want to see some developments here. All right, with this energy, it's an encouragement to get organized. All right, line things up. You may not feel as though you're seeing the kind of progress that you would like to see, but it's there nevertheless with the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles invites us to be mindful of who and what we are investing our time, energy, and value in. And so this is a time to take inventory, all right, as well. So we're being lighthearted and we're being encouraged to brighten things up while also paying attention to the practicality of it all. And especially, because this is what we are craving, this is what we are wanting. We're wanting to see the results, we're wanting to get clear on, okay, when we have this brightness, that is what's going to encourage us to say, okay, based on my day-to-day interactions and whatnot, has it been worth my while? And if it hasn't, what can I do differently? Okay, how can I switch things up? So sometimes when I see the Seven of Pentacles, I refer to it as like tending to your garden, right? It's time to clear the debris and the weeds to make room for the growth to continue here, or at least to flourish. If we haven't been experiencing growth, this is where, again, it's like, why? Why haven't we been experiencing growth? What are we pouring ourselves into? And what are we receiving back from it? Are the costs worth, you know what I mean? Is it worth the benefits? And are we even seeing any benefits? Blah, blah. That sort of an approach. Okay. So something very grounded, very practical, organization, you know what I mean? And I don't know why, but I'm also hearing even potentially accountability for some. So Leah, I hope that this has been inspiring and supportive, or at least supportive and clarifying. I encourage you to check out your moon and rising signs for some deeper insights. And if it speaks to you, maybe even your Venus and North Node signs. But otherwise, you know what to do, where to go, girlandhermoon.com, to schedule your very own 45-minute live session or a pre recorded. We're here for you. And I wish you a blessed and bright Taurus full moon, Leo. Till next time. Greetings, Virgo. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Taurus full moon reading. So, Virgo, let's dive in and see what messages and insights are coming through for you this Taurus full moon. So, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Virgo. What's coming through for Virgo, Spirit? What are the messages and insights for Virgo? Thank you. All right, your message from the universe, Virgo. Two of Cups. Okay, so we should be feeling pretty good this full moon. And if you aren't, there's an encouragement here for heart healing and connection. Intimate connections also may be significant at this time. Maybe you're thinking about love or thinking about ways to experience, or rather open up to even those heart connections. Okay, I feel like this is, let me just kind of tune in here. Okay. The universe is saying to, what is it? I don't mean to say this in like the kind of way that the phrase sounds, but you get what you give, right? And so it's one of those things where if you're wanting to call in love, then step into that space and give love. And it's about giving that to yourself first and foremost, right? And so we're feeling that. We're opening up to that. This Two of Cups, I feel also, is this card of caring and appreciation and even communication from the heart, expression from the heart. Make sure that whatever choices and decisions that you are making, they are going to be heart centered. Okay, Virgo. Let's see what is being brought into your awareness this Taurus full moon. Mother of Cups, so self nurturing, being mindful of your emotional boundaries and enforcing them, being mindful of how other people's emotions are influencing you. Okay, making that's where the emotional boundaries comes in, Virgo. Okay, and so, if you can especially recognize and relate with being a nurturer, being, even a healer in that sense, this is that time to sort of stand in that power and in that energy and recognize that the self care needs to come first and foremost, right? We can only do for others and we can only go so far for others as we have gone or as we have done for ourselves. Okay. And so there's this energy of I don't know, I'm hearing reciprocity, giving and receiving when it comes to emotional support even. Okay, so what are you potentially revisiting this one? Look at this, mother and father. Okay, Virgo, you got some soulmate stuff coming up potentially. You are ready for that sort of balanced soul connection. Okay, you're ready for it. The Father of Cups is telling you to go after what brings you joy. Like, don't, no apologies. Okay, let your heart lead you. When we see the Father of Cups, the word brave or bravery sometimes comes to mind, as at least from my experience. And so I feel like there's definitely some emotional, heartfelt communications, or some kind of a conversation that maybe you're wanting to have, or that this particular Taurus full moon could be catalyzing. All right, definitely ready to step into that space of self-care and self-love in such a way where you don't have to feel the need to explain yourself to anyone, right? And again, I feel like there's a very strong possibility, especially for some, to call in and connect with a soulmate. When we see the pairs here with the Mother and Father of Cups, the King and Queen of Cups, and the Two of Cups, I mean, come on, Virgo, something is happening this full moon. There's some kind of connection happening this full moon. Okay, so advice for a smooth full moon. Death. Wow, we got Scorpio, so very, very watery energies, emotional energies. I feel like with this death energy of, again, Scorpio energy, this transformation that we see with this death card. Okay, so where you may have experienced loss with love or just dissatisfaction, I feel like that's all shedding when we see this death card. So releasing the past, letting go of what's not serving, and being in that space of transformation and preparation for a rebirth of some sort. Okay, there's this energy of not being afraid to go there, to go deep, the underbelly, okay, of things that we are addressing in order to get to the other side of something. And you're ready for it, you're ready for that transformation, and that's something that you are embracing. So let's see what type of vacation or downtime your soul is craving. Yeah, you want an answer. Ace of Swords, you're ready, if not like to receive an answer, to make a decision, to give and provide an answer. There's clarity of thought, a clear mind, and an open heart. You are ready for it. You've been doing the inner work. You are graduating to these energies of self love, appreciation, boundaries, not allowing for doubts or fears to get in your way. You've got that clarity of direction coming through with the Ace of Swords. And so call that in if it's something that you have been teetering on in terms of, again, the clarity about the future or some sort of conflict that you're having to overcome, Virgo, because it's there for you this full moon in Taurus, this Taurus full moon rather. Virgo, thank you so much for being here. I encourage you to check out your moon and rising signs, maybe even your Venus and North nodes for some deeper insights. Schedule your session with us. We are here for you at girlandhermoon.com for a 45-minute live reading or a pre-recorded. Have a blessed and bright Taurus full moon, Virgo. Again, thank you for being here. Till next time. Hey Libra, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Taurus full moon reading. Let's dive into the cards. Let's see what we see for you, Libra, this Taurus full moon. So Spirit, what do we have for Libra, this Taurus full moon? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Libra. All right. First up, your message. This Taurus full moon from the universe. Strength. Okay, so you've got this, Libra. I've just got to say, there may be some things that are frustrating you or feeling as though you're up against a wall, that there are some challenges. But first of all, aside from the fact that, like I said, you've got this and you're being called to just really stand in your power, resist the urge to just react. Okay. Resist the urge to react. I feel like you're more than capable, even though I know that it may be tempting, Libra. But the other piece to this is having faith in your higher power, having faith in yourself, okay? Because you are a divine channel and you are getting downloads from spirit. So pay attention to that inner voice. All right. This figure 8 at the crown of the lion here is the knowing. All right. And so there may be, there could be, like, for example, the temptation to divert and take the easier route for something. And I'm not saying that you have to make things hard for yourself, but what may seem like the easier choice or the easier route, rather, short term fix or whatnot, Spirit saying, you know better, Libra. Stick to your guns on something, power through it. You've got this. Okay. I just feel like I'm just getting that again for you, Libra. Okay. So, what will this full moon be bringing into your awareness? The devil. So, we have Leo energy, Capricorn energy, showing up here. Okay, again, temptation. Okay, temptation and the possibility of scattering your energy, scattering your focus, having too much going on, things being a little bit chaotic, but again, having the wherewithal to power through and to stay focused nevertheless. Get it done. When we can transform this devil energy, channel it accordingly, this gives you the upper hand when it comes to how you handle the physical, right? How you get things done with the goat, because goats, right? They're scattered, they're here, they're there, they're everywhere. But if you could just channel all of that energy, the move, 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 rather than here and there and just into consistency, that's where it counts. That's where you're going to see those results in a stronger sort of more, I don't know why, but I'm getting even more validating kind of way. So resist temptation to take the easier route, resist temptation to just, I don't know, I think you get what I'm saying here, Libra. Don't do a sloppy job just because you may be feeling a little bit all over the place. All right, stay grounded, stay focused, breathe. If you're having any fears or doubts popping up, give it up to your higher power. All right, give up those doubts, give up those fears to your higher power, and just focus on what needs to get done in the here and now and taking those steps accordingly. Try not to fixate on the end results also when we see this devil energy showing up. Okay. What are you being called to revisit? Six of Wands. Yeah. Okay, so your successes, right? Maybe there are previous moments where you have gone through a similar experience. So reflect on those wins. Okay, reflect on the wins. Six of Wands is also the encouragement that remind you that if there is the potential of competition or external distractions, this is a reminder again, like I said it, maybe you've been there before, so this is a reminder that you can do it again. You can be just as successful. All right, focus also on coming through with an air of integrity, holding your head high. All right, rising above, so to speak. Other people may not, they may play a little bit dirty, but you don't need to sink to their level. Okay, let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. Three of Wands. Yeah, the ships are coming in when we see this Three of Wands energy. So get excited, stay inspired, stay fired up about the journey and what's ahead. Do not lose sight or lose wind, you know what I mean, be feeling unmotivated or again distracted from your path, from your goals. So this is again just kind of whatever you can do to pace yourself, not kind of jump to conclusions, but or try to race to the finish line, but also like what I'm trying to say here, because I'm going back to this energy of not scattering your efforts but channeling it. All right, the vision of the future that you have for yourself, even though it may feel a bit further away than you would like right now, it's coming together. So you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, head toward that dock, because again, those ships are coming in. And it's when we say that, what you seek is seeking you, is basically the message here. Okay, so what sort of downtime, what sort of vacation is your soul craving? The Two of Wands. Look at these fiery energies showing up. And even with the Capricorn earth energy, there's the fire. So there's action oriented energy that we're seeing here. And the Two of Wands is all about embracing your circumstances as though you got the world in the palm of your hand. So it's getting excited. Stay motivated and inspired. What is motivating you and inspiring you into action? All right, so allow for the I want to say there's no reason to feel daunted, and it's okay if you do, but there's no reason for you to feel daunted about the goals that you have, because you're well on your way. Okay, you're on a good track. So again, this is about just keeping at it. Okay, get inspired, focus on the short term steps, and remember I said that earlier with the devil, not to fixate on the end results, but to focus on the steps that it's going to take to get there, because you're earlier on in the journey here. Right, we're kind of at the beginning phases of things, 2 and 3 here. And so in terms of projecting into your bigger picture goals and whatnot, so don't worry about it. You'll get to steps 8, 9, and 10 when you get there. Okay, so Libra, I encourage you, check out your moon, your rising, Venus and North Node if you wish. But visit us and schedule your session, girlundermoon.com, for a 45-minute live or pre-recorded. Have a blessed Taurus full moon, Libra. Hey Scorpio, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, a Taurus full moon reading. Let's see what we have for you. What are the messages coming through for Scorpio, this Taurus full moon, Spirit? Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Scorpio. What's coming through for Scorpio, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, Scorpio, first up, your message from the universe. What do you need to hear? The devil's in the details. That's just what came through. You could be feeling restless. There could be a lot of just unsavory thoughts coming to mind. I don't know. That's just what's coming through the downloads. I got to be true to it. And so I feel like there could also be some outdated habits, patterns, whether it's addictive stuff as well, or just negative thoughts, habits, behavioral patterns that are going to be coming up this full moon for you, Scorpio. So this is that time to empower yourself to overcome those self-limiting habits, patterns, behaviors, and to shift out of that. Okay, take control is what I'm getting here. If there are any fears or doubts coming through, try your best to recognize when you are in a space, what is it like, thinking the worst case scenario, or seeing the worst in someone. You don't necessarily have to be seeing the best in someone, but you don't have to like go to the opposite end either, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so just be mindful about any areas where you may be fixating on just results, or just fixating in general. Okay, and resist the urge, and recognize where there are certain temptations that might be leading you into negative patterns or behaviors. Okay, so what will this full moon be bringing to your awareness? The moon in and of itself, okay, there's your energy. Okay, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio with the moon, that not everything is as it seems. There could be, you could be feeling a little bit of that side eye about certain things, people, or situations. And so the moon is about listening to your gut, or at least allowing for what is unseen and unknown to become seen, become known, to be revealed. Let's not do anything that's going to be a knee jerk reaction. All right, because again, not everything may be as it appears. And not just that, but in another way, maybe the things that have yet to reveal themselves, they're still in a developmental state. So there may not be a definitive answer at this time. It could just be that, we just gotta kind of let the situation, let this just be in the mystery right now, because maybe there's still something kind of going on in a developmental sort of way, to where it's kind of like, okay, if we got a cake baking in the oven, are you just going to open it up while it's mid baking? It won't be ready yet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know it's baking, but it better be a cake. It's like, well, it's not yet a cake. It's getting there if you give it time, right? So don't rush the process, is the other thing. Okay. What are you potentially revisiting this full moon? Choices and decision, balance. Okay, balance. I feel like with this particular two of pentacles, it's like, don't take on any more than you need to right now. Okay, especially if you feel like you've got a lot going on, or you're feeling a little bit distracted. There could be some things that are needing a little bit of time for you also to regain your sense of balance and composure. All right, I feel like this is a time for you to not get distracted by external forces, especially if there's something that you're wanting to grow or develop, like a goal, or just even if there's a new habit that you're trying to form. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the results, is what I'm hearing. Let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. Mother of Wands. Yeah, so are there any areas where you may be feeling insecure? The Mother of Wands is saying, there could be a bit of focus towards self care. And just remember as well, when we see the Mother of Wands, this is that Fire Queen energy. So where she sets her sights, where she, like, your day to day habits are going to shape you, shape your character, and shape how you see and experience life and the world around you. And so the Mother of Wands, we're taking again, take control of where you are focusing your energy, all right? Where you are focusing your perception. Okay, this Mother of Wands, the Queen of Wands, where attention goes, energy flows. And so you just want to be mindful to that, how you are sort of nurturing yourself, or the types of, like, for example, your inner dialogue, for example, the kinds of words that you use, or the thoughts that you have. Be mindful to that, because that will shape your decisions, that will then therefore also shape your character, right? So just be mindful of that, and give yourself a little bit of self-care, self-love right now. What sort of vacation or downtime is your soul craving? The Two of Cups. Yeah, you would like gentleness and flow and togetherness. Two, it could be a significant number for you this full moon, which does come down to choices and decisions, being here and now. We want to slow things down a little, but we still want to experience a form of flow. And so open up again to just those heartfelt connections. As I said, it's, you don't necessarily have to think the highest and brightest of someone, someone, but it doesn't really, how does it serve you to be thinking the worst, right? You don't have to think the best of something or someone, but you don't have to think the worst either, right? So what are ways that we can bring healing? What are ways that we can bring encouragement and soothing and joy and fulfillment? What actions can we take to line ourselves up in that way? Because it's about how you want to feel at the end of the day, right? Where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you're focusing on, let's just say, for example, if you're watching movies or listening to music that is dark and depressing or violent or whatever, it's, you know what I mean? Like it kind of puts you in that energy. So just be mindful to that. Okay. And all that being said, Scorpio, I encourage you to check out your moon, your rising, your Venus, your north nodes for some deeper insights. Check out those aspects. Schedule a session with us. We're here for you, girlundermoon.com, for a 45-minute live session or a pre-recorded. We have various options available for you. Okay, so take care. Have a blessed and bright Taurus full moon Scorpio. Hello, Sagittarius. How are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Taurus full moon reading. So Sagittarius, let's dive into the cards. Let's get your messages for this full moon. See what we see. The Spirit, what do we have for Sagittarius here? This is for Sagittarius. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Sagittarius. Okay, so first up, Sagittarius, your message from the moon, the universe, excuse me, the world. Look at you, look at you. So there could be some form of significant cycle, something coming into a space of completion. You yourself could be experiencing a feeling of completion and fulfillment this full moon, Sagittarius. I feel like this is also giving vibes on broadening your horizon and expanding your perspective. Okay, so where were you and what were you doing? What were you feeling? What were you experiencing maybe around this time last year? What kind of changes have you gone through? How have you grown and evolved? And what are you taking with you? What are you leaving behind? That kind of energy, that sort of message is what is coming through in the downloads for you, Sagittarius. But I like this very expansive energy with the world here. Okay, there's something that you have, something significant that you have or that you are completing, Sagittarius. Something's coming full circle. What sort of energies are being brought into your awareness this full moon? What is being brought into your awareness? Foundation. Okay, wealth, future generational security, wealth and foundations, house and home, and feeling that sense of completion. 10, another energy that relates with cycles, with endings and beginnings. So I feel like, there's this feeling of togetherness. There's this feeling of not just satisfaction, but celebration for how far you've come, to where you can share that with others. Shared success is what I'm hearing for you right now, Sagittarius. So there could be, like a group of people significant to you, whether it's work related, family related, all the things. But I feel like that's part of where, at least right now, if you're not quite in that space of, oh yeah, all this togetherness with people and family and friends and whatnot, it's really just honoring the yes, actually, Spirit's like, no, just recognize that the richness in your life is also, yes, the achievements financially, but it's who you are surrounded by and who you surround yourself with physically, also that level of richness. All right, Sagittarius. So, what are you being called to potentially revisit? Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, so we've got these earthy energies here that we're being called to revisit. Just as a note, with the World card, we got the fixed signs. We got Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. But going back to this Daughter of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, a new seed to plant. Has there been a new direction, a project that you kind of started to get involved in, a new trade, or a new way in which, like a hobby, a way that you've been spending your time, that I feel, I don't know why. Hold on one second. Like I was in this download and then suddenly Spirit was like, like we're shifting gears here. Playfulness, being adventurous, being open to also receiving, but new cycles when we see the pages. Okay. I also feel this energy of, anywhere that you may have been feeling like the new kid on the block, that sort of a thing, recognizing that you're in good company. Okay. You're in good company. Let's give you some advice for a smooth full moon. The Daughter of Cups, so the pages are showing up. So, definitely this energy of childlike wonder and abandon that is being called forth for you to step into. Again, new experiences. There could be some positive news messages that are underway or that you'll be receiving around this full moon. You could be, again, feeling a little bit more childlike and playful and lighthearted around this full moon. And that may be very well what serves you, especially if there's any kind of like, if you're seeing any heaviness or experiencing any heaviness, this is again encouraging you to focus on the lighter, brighter side of things, to have fun and be playful, okay? And lock into that sort of frequency to help alleviate any tension if you're experiencing any of that or any heaviness again, okay? um New emotional experiences and connections, communications, keeping things very much simple and not overcomplicating anything. What sort of downtime or vacation is your soul craving? Six of Pentacles. You want to see that return on your investments. You're ready for that. You're ready for balanced exchanges of giving and receiving here. This is also inviting you to acknowledge your growth, okay? And that what you have put in, you are seeing results. Not only will you see results, but you are seeing your those results. So this is also inviting you to kind of really enjoy that and appreciate that. And so again, just the balance and the harmony with the giving and receiving, being a bit more malleable and open when it comes to sharing yourself, sharing your time, sharing your energy. All right, Sagittarius. So, all that being said, I just want to remind you to check out your other aspects, your moon, your rising, maybe even your Venus and North nodes if you want to go that, even deeper in those areas. But check us out, schedule your session with us. We're here for you, girlundermoon.com, for a 45-minute live session or a pre-recorded. But I wish you the very best and brightest this Taurus full moon, Sagittarius. Thanks for being here. Hello, Capricorn. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Taurus full moon reading. So let's dive in. Let's see what's revealed, what guidance is coming through for Capricorn, this Taurus full moon spirit. Thank you. So messages for Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. So Spirit, what does Capricorn need to know? This Taurus full moon, thank you. All right. What do you need to hear from the universe? Your message, this full moon. Capricorn, look at you, stand in your power. Okay. I feel like this is all about, I'm hearing also get her done. I don't know why, but I'm hearing get her done. Now we don't want to be, or there's no need to be reactive about things. This is about standing again in your power. I don't know why, but I'm also hearing like being self-led. There could be a need for strategy and for implementation. Like whatever it is that you are looking at, calling in, working toward, Capricorn. This is also I'm getting this feeling of find your rhythm, pace yourself. There is no rush, because when we have kings, the kings are not gonna like step off the throne unless it really makes sense, right? But I'm also hearing that there's this opportunity for you to be a builder. And this is about, when we have pentacles, it's a slow moving energy. So It's really just prepare, like preparation. I don't know why, but it's like preparation is key. Make sure that you're not just kind of again being like just jumping into something without looking. So prepare yourself, be well informed, create a plan and a strategy, see it through as well. If you've already planned and strategized, okay, this is that time to just start to take those methodical steps. What is this full moon bringing into your awareness? The Knight of Wands, the Son of Wands. So having that boldness of taking the action, being inspired, and following that inspiration accordingly. So there may be a sense of being a bit more security minded with the King of Pentacles, but the Knight of Wands is saying, but take the action. There may be certain things that you've not quite perfected just yet, or that you may not have the expertise in yet in terms of the way in which you go about doing something. Maybe you're feeling very responsible. And so there's a balance here in terms of really being mindful, not to just go plowing into something because you can, but to be sure that whatever it is, that's what is driving you, what is motivating and inspiring you when you are feeling this energy of get up and go, or to do something, or to move towards something, even if it's about communicating and speaking up about something. Okay, we want to sort of make sure that wherever we're coming from, not that you shouldn't go for it, not that you shouldn't say it or do it, but we want to be mindful of our position of authority and our responsibility, and having a little bit of grounded self discipline when it comes to taking those actions. Okay, again, it's not saying you shouldn't take the action, but it's saying don't just jump without looking. Okay, so what are you being called to potentially revisit this full moon? Justice. Okay, so what is fair and balanced? We got Libra energy with this Justice card here. So this is about, yeah, karmic balance, karmic alignment, what is fair, what is true. And I feel like, okay, what again, when you're speaking, when you're saying, when you're doing, make sure that it, you want to come from a mature space, and a space that's being responsible and reflective in that regard. Okay, that Justice card again is expressing that fairness. And just because you can doesn't mean that you should. You have more of a position, and you are in more of a power position than maybe you are recognizing or realizing, which is why I see this again, King of Pentacles front and center, and then these cards around it is like, okay, I have to be mindful of the balance here, and I have to be mindful that, again, just because I can, it doesn't mean necessarily that I should, because there are eyes watching, the karmic law and balance is watching. There may also be certain, don't ignore any deadlines, or if you have documents that you need to sign or turn in, things of that nature, the responsibility aspect is showing through here, Capricorn. Okay, let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. The Hangman, yeah. Pause and maybe see things from a different perspective, see things from the other person's perspective, from the other side of things, before just diving in. Again, there's this whole mindfulness not to be reactive to your circumstances here, but to be mindful and responsible. We're taking in the bigger picture, we're taking in the long run here. Okay, and this Knight of Wands is saying you might be feeling a little bit like, yeah, well, you know what, blah blah blah, like I get this, maybe not defensive energy, but this very like, all right, like maybe a little bit of impatience here. And so that's where we're calling in this mindfulness of balance, this mindfulness of perspective, responsibility, and self-discipline, again, that's showing up. So yeah, with this Hangman energy, pause, reflect before you react. There is a time and a place for everything. Piscean energy with the Hangman. Okay. All right. Last but not least, what sort of break, what sort of downtime is your soul craving? The Father of Swords. Yeah, maybe you're like, I do want to lay down the law. But at any rate, we did speak to strategizing, and implementing. So we've got the two kings here. So you're shifting in your energy. All right. And now we're going from like this earthy energy of the physicality of things with the King of Pentacles, and we are stepping stepping into this role, shifting into the Father of Swords, where we are detaching ourselves and we're looking at things again from an eye of wisdom and responsibility. Okay, with this Father of Swords, we are considering the bigger picture. You know, in the previous, the original version of this Wild Unknown, we didn't have this rainbow energy. It was just black and white. But the whole tone of it is that not everything is black and white, right? Life is vibrant and full of colors. Like there's gray in between, and we have this full spectrum of colors. And so we're being mindful to that, right? When we're looking at things from the perspective of the Father of Swords, the Father of Swords knows how to make informed decisions that are not just it's not just quantity, but it's quality, basically, just to put it into a shorthand, for example. So this is where you're being called to broaden your perspective, your horizons. There are things that are in a state of, they're coming into a state of balance and transformation, and you are in a much more better, a bigger position of power than you may realize, power and authority. So take ownership of that. Don't be afraid to implement the plan or to see something through, or to have that conversation, but just be mindful that when you are having that conversation, you're having it from a place of integrity and authority, okay, and not just rushing. Okay, so I encourage you, Capricorn, check out your moon, your rising, and if it speaks to you, your Venus and North nodes as well. Visit us, schedule your session, girlandhermoon.com. We've got 45-minute live readings in addition to the pre-recorded. I wish you a very bright and blessed full moon, Capricorn. Till next time. Hello, hello, Aquarius. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Taurus full moon reading. So let's see what we see. What is coming through for Aquarius spirit? What do we have for Aquarius this Taurus full moon? Okay, so we got some jumper cards. Are you feeling burdened and maybe struggling to keep things going? You're almost there. Okay, so keep at it. Keep at it. This could be a call to shift oh my gosh, you're the way in which you've been going about doing what you are doing, but those cycles of hardship and burden are closing out and coming to an end, Aquarius. All right, so we have those jumper cards immediately from spirit with message for you. Almost had another one there, but spirit, what does Aquarius need to know? What is your message for this Taurus full moon, Aquarius? The universe wants you to know. Ace of Wands. Aha. Okay. If you were wondering yes or no about anything, aces are generally going to be validating toward a yes. Okay. So there is a new perspective opening up for you, a new cycle for sure. When we see the Ace of Wands, you're being called to take the action. Open up to the new cycle. Okay, get fired up, get motivated and inspired. This is something that this full moon is catalyzing for you. Wow, new cycle. Okay, as we're closing things out and releasing, because I know that that's what the full moons are all about. Okay, so what is being brought into your awareness? Aha, more of the aha. So there's some okay, Aquarius, there's a revelation, a realization, an aha moment that this full moon is catalyzing for you. Okay? Something from the past or some part of yourself that maybe you thought was lost, there's new life being breathed into it, being breathed into your situation, your experience, yourself here, your perspective, how you go about doing something. Not all is lost. This is going to be opening up a way to feel that inspiration and motivation returning. We saw that 10 of wands pop out, right? And then we got this Ace of Wands opening up the reading. So yeah, what's done is done, and you are done. You're ready to move on, and moving on you shall. Okay, so what are you being called to revisit this full moon? Four of Cups. Where are you feeling dissatisfied? Where are you feeling a little bit bored or just unmotivated by the options that are being provided to you right here, right now? Stop searching for another way or another possibility. It is what it is what I'm getting when I see this Four of Cups here. And this is a revisitation energy, okay? So the answer is right under your nose. It's right there. We've got a new cycle or a new perspective again. Maybe that's that flash of inspiration. It's like, oh my gosh, it's been right under my nose the whole time. It's been right here the whole time, and here it is. You know, it's one of these things where maybe you've had it sitting in your closet for years or whatever, and you just didn't do anything with it, but then you go back, you even forgot that it was there. And you know, there's something like, oh, I really could use this, that, or the other thing. You open up your closet and it falls, and it's like, oh my gosh, I've had this for years and I didn't need it till now. I haven't used it till now. Here it is. Here we go. All right. So there's something that maybe you're looking for. Look no further than right where you're standing, right where you're at. Sometimes the Four of Cups says the grass is, you know what I mean? It's that phrase, the grass is always greener on the other side. So water your own grass. You know what I mean? The results are going to come, but it you just got to stay consistent and persistent with your efforts. Okay, advice for a smooth full moon. Yeah, the Magician. Oh my God, ace, 1 and 1. Okay, there is self-empowerment that you're being called to step into. You are the magician. You are the alchemist. The power is within your hands to manifest and co-create the reality in which you desire. Okay, the power is in your hands. You have whatever you need to make things move forward, to start to implement. You've got it right here. Anything else, you'll get it when you need it. You'll cross that bridge when you get there, when the time comes. Okay? Self-empowerment here with the Magician. Okay? Lining up your vision, lining up your future goal, lining yourself up here and now with that future goal. Okay? It's about understanding that based on the skills and talents that you already have, how do you want to weave your magic? And, you know, which one? Earth, air, fire, water. What is the necessary element for you to put your focus into? And right now, if you've got the vision or you got the idea of fire or air, it's out there, right? Can you see, hold, and touch it really? We have to bring it into a space where we can see, hold, and touch what we need to do here and now and stay on track, right? With that vision, with that goal. Okay, what sort of vacation is your soul craving here? Five of Cups, recovery. So we go to from the Four of Cups to the Five of Cups. Interesting stuff here. So we're shifting gears. You're ready to let go of the past disappointments, to stop trying the same thing. It's kind of like, you know, even though this isn't that Ten of Swords card where it's like insanity, you know what I mean? This is where it's like, where have you been doing the same things over and over again? Where have you been searching through the pantry, looking? You already know what's in the pantry, right? Just make a choice. It's just like, well, you know, if you want to, like, you know, you might need to put a couple of things together to make yourself a meal. Like maybe you can't just have this, or you know what I mean? Maybe you could, but it's not really a complete meal. Maybe we need to put some things together. That's where it's saying, like, to just consider what steps do you need to take to help move you into that desired direction. It may not give you that exact thing, but what can you do in the meantime? Five is an energy of recovery. It is an energy of conflict as well. But in this case, it's we are recovering, we're moving on from the losses. We're focusing on the fact, you know, maybe we're not ready yet to just cheer and celebrate or to experience that immediate gratification or fulfillment. But just knowing that there are options and opportunities still available to us if we only shift our perspective, if we only start to head in that direction, move toward that energy. Okay, so there could be something that inspires and ignites you initially, but it's up to you to keep the flow going. It's up to you to take that, like if this was a match that we struck, it's up to you to light the candle and not let that match burn out. Okay, so work toward the healing steps, and then what's going to help you to feel better before just experiencing, like if you're at -10, right, and you want to feel a +10, does it make sense to just, okay, yeah, we're just gonna boom boom from -10 to +10? I mean, that could happen, but like, what is that gonna take? It's kind of like, all right, well, I don't really know, but I know that there's ways for me to get from -10 to a -8 to a -5, maybe to neutral to 0. You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes what it takes, but I encourage you to keep going. Okay. Don't give up, Aquarius, because there are some new energies, understandings for you, revelations, right? And clarity, so the power's in your hand to create that change and to initiate those new beginnings. But I encourage you, Aquarius, to check out your moon and rising signs. Also, perhaps your Venus and North nodes for some deeper insights. But we are here for you. So schedule your session with us, girlonhermoon.com, for a 45-minute live reading or pre-recorded. But I wish you the very best and brightest for a blessed Taurus full moon. Thanks so much, Aquarius. Till next time. Hello, Pisces. How are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Taurus full moon reading. So let's dive into the cards and get your messages for this Taurus full moon, Pisces. So, Spirit, what does Pisces need to know? What is coming through for Pisces this Taurus full moon? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Pisces. Look at this. We got the sun. Pisces, what's up? It's a yes. A new dawn, a new day. Joy and fulfillment opening up. Anything that has been hidden shall be revealed. So we're already getting very validating energy. That's solar, sun, free will. Okay. First up, what do you need to hear from the universe? Pisces. Yep, 6 of Wands. Victory and success are yours. Rise high, rise above. Do not give in to the noise around you. I wouldn't normally say that for the 6 of Wands, but that's just the message that's coming through. You have overcome, you are overcoming, but if you feel as if you're still kind of in a, you know what I mean, going through or moving through conflict, success and victory shall be yours. You will get through this. Okay? You will rise above and rise and excuse me, expand higher is what I was trying to say here. But even with that sun energy that popped out, the 6 of Wands, there's something here that's encouraging you to move forward. There's something here that's saying that it's going to be not just okay, but it's going to be good. It's going to be great, even whatever it is that you're wondering about. Okay. What will this full moon be bringing to your awareness? We've got, come on, places, come on. Illumination. You're going to see the results. You're going to see the answers to your questions. They're coming through. Again, there's illumination. That's your spread your wings and fly. Okay, spread your wings and fly. The sun is those new cycles and focusing on being present to the moment, self-empowerment in the moment, moving forward with a sense of pride and authority, joy and fulfillment. Okay, what are you potentially revisiting this full moon? The 7 of Wands. Now, there's that card that highlights the message that I was saying earlier. No wonder that I got it here with the 6 of Wands, with drowning out to, any external noise or distraction. Stay focused on the goal, the prize ahead. Okay. Pushing through, 7 of Wands, overcoming challenges and obstacles. Okay, this is telling me you've been there before. That is your validation and all the validation that you need, that you will get through this time around as well. You've been through struggles and hardships before, Pisces. You know that. And so this again is telling you, if you're going through that, if you're feeling that in any which way, tension, whatever the case it may be, you'll be fine. Okay, eye on the prize. Don't rush. There's no need to rush. So be well prepared in whatever it is that you're moving through or that you are working toward. Okay, there's no need to rush or hurry. We don't want sloppy results here. And so this is setting you up for that streamlined success. Don't know why, but those are the words that came through. Advice for a smooth full moon here. 4 of Pentacles. So we're going to be mindful of our day-to-day habits, patterns, and routines, and see what we can maybe work with or rework. Any areas that you might be feeling insecure, there's no need for that. Okay, you have every reason to be proud of yourself and to put yourself out there. This 4 of Pentacles does encourage you to stay grounded, however, and if you are feeling a little bit scattered, it would benefit you to kind of set things up into a way that is a helpful and healthy rhythm. okay? Again, day-to-day habits, patterns, and routines. Is there any areas, are there any areas, I should say, that you're fixating on, any results that you're fixating on, anything that you may be clinging to a little bit too tightly in terms of physical or issues with control? Loosen up a little bit or revisit where you can bring a sense of rhythm, again, balance, clarity. This is really being mindful that you are establishing a solid foundation here. Okay, so what are your foundations built upon? Okay, all right, what sort of vacation is your soul craving this full moon? Eight of Swords. You want to get out of your head. Maybe you're feeling a little bit impatient about some things. It's a mental struggle here. So we want to breathe. Understand that you are in this space of maybe even metamorphosis. Okay. So there are developments taking place beyond your awareness, beyond your ability to really see what's in front of you at the moment. There may be things that you're struggling with internally. Allow for the transformation to take place. Make sure that you are again grounded and that whatever it is that you're doing, you're being consistent with it. Do your best not to be too scattered in your thoughts, or in areas where you may be feeling trapped or stuck. It's all perception based, because you are not trapped, you are not stuck whatsoever, Pisces. Okay, let's go back to center here with that Six of Wands. You are in a position to overcome. All right, even though there are other areas or other ways in which there's still a transformation, or still, again, something that is developing and needing time to develop before it is fully realized or presented. Like if it's a goal that you're working toward, we're still kind of moving through it, but there's a little bit of relief in saying that you don't have to just sit there staring at the oven. You got a cake baking in the oven. Are you just going to sit there and stare and wait for it to bake? No. Put on the timer and go read a book. Go, do some vacuuming, whatever it is. Like watch a good film or something like that while that cake is baking in the oven. You don't have to like sit there and strain yourself or struggle. Okay, free yourself up from any areas where your thoughts are just kind of spinning and spiraling. You're feeling stuck in your mind or helpless, like your hands are tied. It doesn't mean that it's in every which way. It could be just with one thing. So let that develop. Focus on other ways or other areas that you can empower yourself. All right, Pisces. But I invite you to check out your moon and rising signs, and also your Venus and North nodes if you would like to go even deeper with the messages, and hopefully they all resonate. But otherwise, we are here for you. So schedule a session with us, girlonourmoon.com, for a 45-minute live reading or a pre-recorded. But I wish you a very blessed and bright Taurus full moon, Pisces. Thanks so much for being here. Take good care. Till next time.